Okay, so today I streamed for 4 hours. I participated in the Bishu's Beat Battle and made something that was fine. It wasn't great. And then I streamed for 4 hours working on this house piece that we started yesterday. And this is kind of what the piece looked like yesterday, just kind of these little 16 bars or so. And this is what it looks like now. We've got a nice full on, what does this come out to right now? About 2 minutes of music. So I'll let this play through. You could tell me what you think about this, and I'll kind of walk through some of the cool stuff I built today.
It's amazing, it's a wonder all the places you go, and no one knows how you're sowing, how you're growing, how you cultivate a world brand new, and baby blue, but I
So yeah, that's where it's at right now. It's there's a lot of fullness to it. The mix has got some rough spots, some places where things really kind of pop out. I feel like I think this guy in general right now is definitely the weakest part. He's very, depending on what speakers you're listening to, that's really gonna like probably punching you, and probably that doesn't really fit with the piece. So I think I want to kind of get a new topper going for tomorrow or whenever I finish this piece. But there's some really, really cool stuff that we did to get us to the point we're at. The most notable of which I love the vocal. It took me probably half an hour to kind of come up with the words, but the vocal really kind of hits a nice pocket and has a really beautiful melody to it. And I really like, this is a thing I've always kind of wanted to do to like establish a piece, is like have like a really kind of beautiful, full, non-EDM section. Like this is obviously all EDM, but like this whole bit here, it's much more of like a song, right? It's more of a song in this spot than it is like this isn't house music, despite this being a house track. This is like pop music, and this is more harmonically rich of a section than anything else around it. Everything else is just kind of alternating between 1 and 4 in these sections. You have a lot of just, and then going back and forth between those two chords. But this section, we get a lot of, which is really, really pretty. So, and I think it's something that we'll probably do in future sections, but it's kind of nice to like have like establish kind of the full harmonically rich motif, like this is the core idea, and then we're going to kind of riff off of this. And I think in this first repeat, I'm probably going to put a little bit of a vocal chop, or maybe I'll put a vocal chop here in the second one, and then have a third one where we have a full recapitulation of the vocal with the lyrics and everything. So my favorite thing I think that we did today was get this riser here, where without any effects, it just sounds like it sounds not like that, but like this. This would be kind of an overwhelming riser, kind of a rising in tension, like, oh, kind of like something you would find in like bass music or something, usually something very bombastic and like siren-y, like terrifying. We put a chroma on it in a pentatonic scale. That's gorgeous. That's fantastic. I love that so much. We have it sending to a reverb bus, which kind of gives it that long tail. So that was really, really cool. And I did love the way that this organ we built here for for this section is really pretty as well. Basically just a sine wave with some extra partials thrown in there to give us this organ sound. It just literally sounds like an organ. It's two of the exact same patch, just put at different volumes here. I didn't take the time to like program in the velocity control. So for the top notes, I just put them on their own bus that I could adjust the volume of, and then also just kind of put some extra effects just on these guys with this kind of like volume chevron happening here of kind of bringing in a tremolo, and then having a little bit of noise on top of it to just create a little bit of extra texture. And that guy works really, really well with the vocal here. Of course, I have to start it early enough for the notes to pick up. It's surprising, it's amazing, it's a wonder all the places you go. It was really pretty. And then to combine this guy with this 6-note ostinato thing, we've done this before. Creates a nice little polyrhythm to put these guys together. It's having that little rhythm in there in groupings of 6 over a piece that is entirely in 4. It creates a really nice rhythm, and having this guy going up against our original kind of ostinato. Really fun rhythmic pocket. This will probably be the outro of the piece when we get to that point. Just having those little guys going along together. But yeah, lots of. We also did a lot of really fun latch automation, especially with. I think it was on this guy, wasn't it? Oh, it was down here on the ostinatos. You can see there's all this automation happening here. It's amazing. And we did all this with latch, where I just turned it on latch and just kind of just pulled up the EQ and just moved it around. And it's really pretty to watch it move here. It's surprising, it's amazing, it's a wonder all the places you go. So it was really fun. The resonance is a separate automation. I had to animate it by hand separately, which is why it pops up here. Just hunting for frequencies that sounded good. And I just kept doing it until it made something that sounded good. And yeah, it looks a little silly, but it's also fun. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. Just like I just used to be so afraid of automation, and now I'm in such a better place about it. And that's really, really cool and really satisfying growth to see. Other place we use Chroma. Again, I really think Chroma is a really powerful tool, especially for how easy it makes kind of just like comb filtering in resonance. And but I don't love just using it to make color base, and we had these guys hanging over here at the beginning, and they're the kind of tail of this sound really kind of had some kind of messiness to it. It's not that messy, but in a section where I'm really trying to have this kind of be clearly like. Everything else is really, really locked into tonic there. Having that kind of hanging out was kind of getting in the way. So the first thing we did was put a low cut on it to just kind of clean up the mud in the bottom, and then put a chroma on it. And it makes it so much prettier. Just kind of like puts everything more into the key, right? And then it really resonates with all the other tonic frequencies that are going on with those other instruments. So really cool little effects. I think I also did it actually on this guy as well. I did not. I lied. I thought about putting chroma on some other of the little stuffs, but didn't quite get there. So a few interesting things. This little guy here at the beginning, also really fun, taking from some of the stuff we did in the remake battle with Tails the other day. This is just the reverb, the wet reverb bus rendered into audio for the main vocal over here, and then I put another reverb on top of it here. So this is the original, and then I just put an extra Valhalla on top of it to make it super, super wet, and it creates a nice little reference here at the beginning. If you're listening in the background, you're hearing that vocal that's coming in later.
It's surprising, it's amazing.
And it's just instead very, very washy, right? And so it creates this wonderful reference where at the beginning, when you're first listening to this, you don't know what you're listening to. But then when this comes in, your ears heard this before and you don't know where, right? And it's not something you necessarily would catch the first time listening around, but it creates a nice reference. It kind of not just an Easter egg thing, but I think a way that kind of like, it's foreshadowing. It's musical foreshadowing that'll make this feel good in a way that you don't, even if you don't know why it feels good, you know? So overall, I really like the sections here of like having like an intro, and then like a tension building intro, and then the main idea, and then another like build, and then an actual drop, you know, and having that little silence in here. Bringing back that pentatonic riser. Pretty cool. I'm confused a little bit right now. I'm hearing it, hearing the audio drop out like not smoothly. It feels like it doesn't feel like it stops harshly. It feels like it cuts off. Put this to here. Does this feel better? I don't know. No, it's still kind of feeling like it goes. I want to just like really sharply cut off. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but yeah, pretty cool piece in general. I'm really happy with where this is at. I'm stopping because it's midnight, and again, I've been working on it for 4 hours and been doing music stuff for about 6 hours today. And it's really fun. It's felt really good, and I'm excited to go to sleep and get up tomorrow morning and work on it some more. See if we can actually get it done. House stuff is fun. It is fun to do, and the mix it was also crazy how much headspace I had in this mix that I left myself just naturally, to where I've got a saturator, a compressor, a limiter. Yeah, I guess that's all the things. If I turn all these off, you can hear kind of where it was at. But this is what we're still, if you look at this final limiter, barely touching it. So that's kind of cool. We're able to get up to like -7 LUFS. So that was pretty good job for me there. Does it actually sound better, or is it just louder? Don't know. Still learning how to master, but it feels really good to like have learned a little bit. I did a lot of exploration today on compressors. I was kind of under this weird misconception, and I learned through the process of just like putting a sine wave on a channel and putting a compressor on it and like watching what I was doing as I turned knobs. I kind of thought that ratio, it was that like for every 1 decibel it goes over, turn it down 5 decibels would mean that it's, you know, or for every 1 decibel goes down, turn it down 8 decibels if you're at the 8-to-1 ratio. I also kind of thought that meant that if you hit your threshold set at -10, for instance, and the level goes up to 9, that would turn it down. If it's set to 8-to-1, it would turn it down 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It would turn it down to -17. But it doesn't. And you can kind of watch the knee here. If I just put another one on here so that I'm not messing with ones that I've got set in a place that I like it. As you turn down the ratio, especially if I turn the knee to 0, it makes it really obvious. You can see there that it's moving it, and like here, if I have this set at 10, if it were to go down to -9, it would just turn it down to a little bit under -10, but it's never like this is like basically a -30 is basically a limiter. A limiter is like basically 1-to-1, I would say. Like in my mind, like the way I would think about it, that like if it goes 1 over, just turn it down 1 decibel. Like that's what I imagine 1-to-1 would be. That like straight up don't make this, like we turn it down exactly the same amount, but that's not really how it works. And now I think I understand that like ratio is actually more like for every 12 it goes over, allow 1 increase, not for every 1 it goes over, turn it down 12, which would say for every 3 it goes over, allow 1 through is more of is a milder compression, but there is no way in compression to have it go down for like to go under the threshold, basically, so that was good to understand. I think I'd been misusing compressors before, so now I understand it a little bit better. Anyways, full day of music. I've been talking about this for like 20 minutes now with you guys. It's time to go to bed. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the piece of music. If you'd enjoy seeing me do this sort of stuff, follow the Twitch. It's down in the link below. Come through and hang out while we're talking. It was a really fun stream, and fun to bounce ideas off of chat and share music with you guys. So yep, that's all I had time for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.